Greetings, I'm the Cartoon Gentleman, bringing you organized chaos. And today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. I'm not going to be reviewing anything, but rather I'm just going to be talking about a subject that's been on my mind lately. Internet fame. Now, what brought this on, you might ask? Well, let me fill you in. A while back, a person, who for professional reasons will remain anonymous, reached out to me in 2 different chat rooms wanting my attention in order to help them out with a certain problem. Seeing that how desperate they seemed since they called me out specifically in 2 different chat rooms, that's important by the way, remember that, they wanted my advice on something. So I said, what the heck, I'd bite. What's their problem? Well, this person seemed upset because their artwork wasn't being featured on Derpy Boru as much as they would like. For those who don't know, Derpy Boru is sort of the deviant art of the brony community. Except it does have a lot of inappropriate stuff. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're over the age of 18. Any rate, they wanted their artwork to be shown more and they felt bad because it wasn't being advertised as much as they would like. So, being a smaller channel myself, I decided to help out by giving them some pointers that helped me out. For starters, advertise your product, find people who enjoy your product, and make artwork that appeases them. Appease the fans, and eventually more will come. It's a simple logic of supply and demand. And that seemed to have settled the matter from my end. But the more this person talked, the more it became evident that this person didn't want helpful advice to get more popular, but rather they wanted someone to be their therapist. I didn't feel comfortable in my abilities to make this particular person feel happy again. So I tried to explain the situation. Then they tried calling me out on this, saying that I was the one who wanted to know. They called me out in 2 different chat rooms, and they're the one accusing me of wanting to know. Yeah, I think you can all tell where this is going. Now, normally I would just brush this incident off as sort of a teenager wanting to get attention from somebody else. And that's all it was. But the more I began to think about it, the more I began to realize some of the big dangers when it comes to internet popularity. So I decided to make a whole separate video on expressing the dangers of internet popularity, not just for my viewers and for anyone who watches, but also for myself, so I don't accidentally step down the dark path of becoming too egocentrical on my channel. So this is not just for you, this is for me as well. Now when it comes to internet popularity, a lot of smaller channels like mine tend to be swallowed up by all the other smaller channels that get overlooked. And a lot of them, no matter how good their content actually is, tend to get a lot more jealous and envious of the hierarchies on YouTube, so they end up becoming bitter and spiteful. I can't count the number of people I've known to grow angry towards people like Silverquill or Dr. Wolf just because they do the exact same thing that they do, but somehow fate chose Silverquill and Dr. Wolf to be the heads of the community, while they are just being swept in the crowd. It's unclear whether they want to be like them or just be them. I'm going to say this right now. You are entitled to dick. If you want views and subscribers that badly, go out and earn them yourselves. Advertise, mingle, talk to people, get to know your fans. That's all you have to do. Then there's the more popular ones, the ones who actually do achieve internet fame. A lot of them tend to be wrapped up into their own egos, and they don't really see the big picture anymore on why they do what they do. It's become a profit for them, not necessarily for fun anymore. The reason I started my channel was for one reason and one reason only. Because I thought it would be fun. And I thought that many others would want to join in that fun. That's it. That's all I really wanted to do. Is just to have a good time. And my channel is still small enough to where I can mingle with the comment section and try to answer each one individually the best I can. Now, I have noticed that in the rise of my YouTube channel, it's become harder and harder to talk to everybody individually as equals. And now I'm starting to get why lots of other channels just say, "Hey guys," or "What's up everybody?" Not really address anyone individually anymore. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we should just up and stop. It's this kind of communication that helps people get to where they are today. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the hierarchies just seem to have their heads up their butts and can't see beyond their own prides and egos. They themselves also feel that entitlement, which, again, they are entitled to dick. They are not above criticism. They are not above you. That's all I'm getting at. Now, of course, not everybody is like this. There's still plenty of content creators, both large in scale or small in stature, that are still humble and grateful enough to realize it's the audience that truly decides who becomes the YouTube hierarchy. Now, one thing I'd like to make perfectly clear. First and foremost, before an artist, before even a reviewer, I consider myself an entertainer. My job is to entertain my audience. And should the day ever come where I stop entertaining you, that I become arrogant or spiteful or entitled, I want you to unsubscribe from me and remove that power from me, post haste. I want you to give me a rude awakening. I don't want the subscribers if I myself become corrupted by my own arrogance. Of course, should the opposite happen, and I actually become a YouTube hierarchy, well, maybe not that far, maybe just more popular. If the day ever comes, if I become way more popular than what I am, and there's plenty of other gentlemen out there in the world, then I will do my utmost to try to keep myself humbled and still produce the same quality of content that I have from the beginning. Again, I entertain first and foremost. And the people I entertain is you, the audience.